Shalom. Call all Yahweh Shemiel Shai by Shimmer Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone that taught us his truth and ruled well, and to the men that taught them. Peace and blessings to the elect, the nation of Israel, and that begins with the 144,000 who are the prophets today, and also the great multitude of men, women, and children the Heavenly Father is going to have mercy on. And you so-called black, Latinos, and Native Americans, you are the true Hebrew Israelites, and that is according to the Holy Scriptures. Come with another lesson is your brother Dawada, and this lesson is entitled, Esau is Wired Wicked. Esau is wired wicked. And this is basically, going back to the milk. The milk is what's important, you know what I'm saying? That's the foundation in this truth. You know what I'm saying? That builds you up. That actually helps you to grow in this truth. And this is what, polish you up and get you ready for, the dark sayings and the parables, which is important here. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm going to speak about is Esau, you know what I'm saying? What he has done, throughout this, four corners of the earth, programming people. Because Esau is programmed to be wicked, you know what I'm saying? Comes straight from the womb, the things that he has done throughout this earth is none but wickedness. And our people have took on those ways, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to go into a couple precepts showing you that, these people are wired, these people are just weird, you know what I'm saying? They feed off of drama. They feed off of things that, that are not normal, you know what I'm saying? Through their pseudoscience, through the things that they, conjure up, you know what I'm saying? Demons and all that. These people are just not right, And what is that scripture? And we can get that scripture now, you know what I'm saying? Let's get that, that favorite, which is the oldie but goodie, you know what I'm saying? That Job 9:24, The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof, if not, where and who is he? Yeah, because we know, if you look at it today, who is the wicked? The so-called white man, you know what I'm saying? Who faces on the petrodollar, you know what I'm saying? Who has over 300 embassies in all different countries, you know what I'm saying? Plus, what did he do that is the most wickedest thing that he has done? He covered the faces of the judges. And who was that? He covered Yahweh, Wah, and he covered Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? He covered the Alahayim, which is the angels. He covered, pretty much all the prophets in the Bible. When you look at the movies that he produced, he bring out each and every year. King David and all these different figures that he covered the judges of the earth. That was during ancient time, and then nothing has changed. You know what I'm saying? So you see, they cover all the faces of judges, painting them in their own likeness. You know what I'm saying? And that's why what Job 9:24 says. And let's read that back again. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof, if not, where and who is he? Yeah, because we know, well, our people don't know. Our people just, want to just basically accept, lies. But we know who's the wicked. We know who's doing all this fracking. You know what I'm saying? We know who is changing all these laws, you know what I'm saying, to fit their needs. You know, these draconian laws that there's none but wicked. We know whose time at the time is just, polluting the air, you know what I'm saying, the water, the food is messed up, you know what I'm saying, GMO foods. So we know who the wicked is, you know what I'm saying. But our people want to be in denial and refuse to call out the big elephant in the room, And what the first Maccabees say, he laid open the book and changed the images. Let's get that. Because, Esau, if 100 years ago on here, Michael Jackson to be, a white man, he he'd be, you know, he'd be Esau, because that's how Esau, get down, you know what I'm saying? First Maccabees chapter 3, verse 48, and laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images. Yeah. And this goes, this goes way back to the time when he was in the Greek captivity, you know what I'm saying? When the Edomites ruled. That is why we say the earth was given to the hand of the wicked. Yeah. Because, all they do is just, push lies out there, saying that they went to the moon back in 1969. You know what I'm saying? Just number complete madness. You know what I'm saying? And who is in the right mind will change the face of the top judges on the earth. You know what I'm saying? Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed so-called white man, he's super proud. You know what I'm saying? Super proud. And let's go back to Job 9:24, because Esau, he's going, he's going to pretend that he think he's the most high. And he's like a god, but he's not. He's the lowest of the lowest. He's the caveman. He's Flintstone. You remember that cartoon back in the day? You know what I'm saying? That that oldie but goodie cartoon, Flintstones. That's who that's who they was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Yeah. And if you knew, if you knew to these scriptures, like this would be a great starting point. You know what I'm saying? Especially Job 9:24. It tells you it touched base on who's the wicked of the earth. You know what I'm saying? And then most of our people, what they do is they pretend that they don't know. They don't pretend who's the devil of the Bible, which that word devil means deceiver, the Diablo. So Esau, you can't get around it. You know what I'm saying? Because you're the border of the wickedness. You know what I'm saying? Let's go with that one. Malachi 1:4. You're the border of the wickedness. You the one has always been causing problems throughout the earth. You know what I'm saying? And then when people want to point who's the problem of the earth and who's pushing number wickedness, it's you, because you're wired. You know what I'm saying, to be wicked. You know what I'm saying? That's how Yahweh Shema Shai, created you. You know what I'm saying? Malachi 1:4 at the top. The burden of the word of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai to Israel by Malachi. Verse 2, I have loved you, said the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Said the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated, verse 3, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritages waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Yeah, verse 4. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai of hosts. They shall build, but I will throw down, and they should call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai have indignation forever. And that's righteous anger, righteous, hate, you know what I'm saying, that the Most High has towards Esau, you know what I'm saying, who is the wicked, who he created, who is wired to be none but wicked throughout this whole planet Earth. Since the time back in the Greeks, the Romans, up until now, you know what I'm saying? It's been none but, you know, and he was blessed with that sword, none but shedding blood, you know? So reading this verse, it lets you know who the wicked is by far, straight to the point, you know what I'm saying? It's Esau, Edom, you know what I'm saying? Basically what they're called the border of the wickedness, you know? It's getting right to the point. And let's go to that Malachi. Let's go to border. Look up that word. All right. It's Strong's H1366. It's Gabawala. Let me repeat that again. Gabawala. You know what I'm saying? An outline of biblical usage is border, territory, enclosed within boundary, region, territory of darkness. Yeah, because they always going around the earth doing number wickedness. You know what I'm saying? They are the border of wickedness. It's always stealing other people's resources, you know, and then putting in a puppet master to be able to control those countries, you know, and it's just right down wrong, you know what I'm saying? And then they point the finger at, you know, other people saying that they're being wicked, so we got to go in and justify to help them out and everything. But they're going in to steal their resources, you know what I'm saying? And their God is money, oil, you know what I'm saying, and drugs, you know what I'm saying? So we know who the border of the wickedness, you know what I'm saying? Let's go to Strong's definition on this. It says properly accord, a boundary by extension to territory enclosed, border, bound, coast, great landmark, limit, quarter, space. Yeah, because that's all they do, you know what I'm saying? That's what they do to the finest, to the best, you know what I'm saying? And what do, you know, the verse Romans 9 and 13 say? You know, the Most High hate Esau. You know what I'm saying? He loved Jacob and hate Esau. You know what I'm saying? So we know who the border of the wickedness is. You know what I'm saying? And let's get that too. You know, Romans 9 and 13. Because Esau, that's all he does is promote none but evil. You know what I'm saying? You know, he controls everything. He controls the media. You know, he controls. Look, he even has over there in our land, you know what I'm saying? He has the biggest, G party, you know what I'm saying? And, I gotta abbreviate it, So how can you be the people of the Bible, the small hats, and you have every year the big G party, you know what I'm saying? You ain't the people, That's why we call you the border of the wickedness, you know what I'm saying? That the Most High hate, And let's go right there, Romans chapter 9, verse 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Verse 14, what should we say then? Is there unrighteousness with the Most High? God forbid. Verse 15. I'm sorry, slack it. Let me start up. Let me go to verse 11. Slack it on that. Romans 9, chapter 11. Romans 9, chapter 9, verse 11. Slack it. For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High, according to the election, may stand, not of works, but of him that called. Verse 12. And it was said unto her, the elders shall serve the younger. Verse 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And like I said again, this verse lines up with Malachi 1 and 4. And this is not hard to understand, man. You know what I'm saying? This is especially when you understand prophecy, you know what I'm saying? And, it tells you, you know what I'm saying? In the last days, who are the wicked? You know what I'm saying? Who will be in charge? Who will have their face on the petrodollar? Who is controlling the masses? Who is, dictating everything? You know what I'm saying? The Esau Edom, the red man, Alawam. You know what I'm saying? They're in charge. You know. And that's why the Most High said, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. You know what I'm saying? He has a righteous indignation towards Esau. He hate Esau. Man, woman, and children, the so-called white people today. You know what I'm saying? So you're not going to get away from your judgment that is coming for you. And then you want to pretend that things is going good now. But things ain't going good. You know it. You get on your news, your media, and you push all the same old crap to hide all the things that's what's going on in this world. But like the prophets of old, Jeremiah 28:8, you know what I'm saying? We prophesy, you know what I'm saying? We prophesying, we being bold, letting you know. I don't want to butcher that verse, but we letting you know, we calling you out, and we exposing you. You on trial right now, you know what I'm saying? But your time is coming, and let's get Psalms 17 and verse 13. Your time is up, Esau. You can try to, hide things that what you're doing that's wicked. You know what I'm saying? Kidnapping children. Especially our kids. You know what I'm saying? And sex trafficking. All kind of stuff. But you want to paint the picture like you this goody two shoe, you this upstanding person, but you ain't nothing but wicked. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said again, the Most High created you. He wired you to be wicked. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to Psalms chapter 17, verse 13. And arise, O Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. You know what I'm saying? And this letting you know the prophecy is going to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's already predestinated that all this is going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So the sword is going to pursue you. You like blood, well, blood is going to pursue you. You know what I'm saying? Numbers 35 and 33. You going if you still a man, you're going to get put to death. And I don't want to paraphrase and make it wrong. Just paraphrasing. Let's get that, and then I can read that out. So I don't want to butcher it. Numbers 35 and 33. Let's get that. 35 and 30. Get that right. 33 and 35. Slocking. Oh, is that? Hold on. Okay. Slocky on that. Oh, okay. I can get this one. Numbers 35 and 33. So ye should not pollute the land wherein ye are for blood, if it defile the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but the blood of him that shed it. Yeah. So blood is going to pursue you because you did nothing but shedding blood. You know what I'm saying? And you did that with Gad and Reuben. You know what I'm saying? You came over here pretending that you was, these, the pilgrims, you was Miss Nice guy. You know what I'm saying? Pretending that you needed help and everything. But what did you do? You wicked. You gave them smallpox. You know what I'm saying? You, in their blankets. You know what I'm saying? All you did was did number wickedness to them. Did all kind of other stuff to them. Pretty much just being wicked. So, like the scriptures say, you know what I'm saying? Let's read that back. Numbers 35 and 33. So ye should not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood is defiled the land. Yeah, because blood has defiled this land from all the rape, rob, and murder that you did with Gad and Reuben. You know what I'm saying? And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Yeah. So Galatians 6 and 7, you reap what you sow. So everything that you have done, you know what I'm saying, which is this is all prophesied that is going to happen, like Psalm 17 and 13, This is predestined. That whatever you done that's wicked, it's going to come back on you. And let's get that Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 49. Let's start at 49. And the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle fly. A nation whose tongue thou should not understand. Verse 50, and a nation of fierce countenance, which should not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. Yeah. Verse 51, and he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle, and the fruit of the land, until thou be destroyed. Yep. Which also should not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind, of flocks of thy sheep, until have destroyed thee. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? This was all orchestrated by the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this is all predestined. You know what I'm saying? The prophecies, all the prophecies is coming to pass. You know what I'm saying? And we see that these prophecies are popping off the page because of Esau thinking that he's going, you know what I'm saying, he's going to get away with everything. No, Esau, you ain't getting away with nothing. Blood is going to pursue you because of what you did to your brother Jacob. You know what I'm saying? And it's all got something to do with the birthright, the blessing. You know what I'm saying? And this is what, the Most High did send a nation against thee from far. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? From the end of the earth, as swift as an eagle that fly, And this is how you know that is talking about the so-called white man, because this is the same image during the Greek Empire, Roman Empire, all the way up until now. You know what I'm saying? And you can go back to Petro, I don't know if I'm saying it right, Georgia, Russia, Petro Russia. You know what I'm saying? That they use those same images. So you can't deny who you are. We know who you are. These people are just wicked. You know what I'm saying? Because they've been wired to be wicked. They came straight from the womb wicked. You know what I'm saying? And this is just how they is. They don't know how to operate being peaceful. They love drama. They feed off of nothing but crap. And that's what they like. But you're gonna be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be right destroyed for what you have done, Esau. And let's finish on this last scripture here, and I'll close out. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 11. Woe unto the wicked, it should be with him, for the reward of his hand should be given. Yeah. So that word woe means destruction. So we got destruction coming for you, Esau, Edom. For everything that you have done. You know what I'm saying? And since the Most High created you and wired you to be wicked, you're going to reap everything that you have pushed out on this four corners of the earth, basically just lying to the people. All your propaganda that you have done on earth, nothing has been forgiven. And Most High hasn't forgot any of this. You know what I'm saying? So I want to just leave with that. I hope this was edifying. Don't trust thy enemy, which is the self-proclaimed so-called white man. You know what I'm saying? But, 2/3 of our people are going to do that anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to further this place to go on. But we got news for y'all. This place is done. So I want to say Shalom. Call all y'all by Shemi Al-Shai by Shimmer Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone that rule and teach well. Peace and salutations to the Akim on the four corners, risking their lives each and every week on the highways and the byways. And to the brothers and sisters tuning in for edification. Shalom.